So today we're going to look at Coast Fire. It's a variation of one of the FIRE strategies, which is financially independent, retire early. And it's one of those where, I've always heard the FIRE acronym and people saving 50%, 70% of their income and building up a big enough nest egg that they can retire early. And you hear people doing it, but it wasn't something for me. Coast Fire is actually something that I recently have heard about and something that I thought, well, maybe that would interest me. And I've been saving and investing for 30 plus years, I think. And obviously with my savings growing to a certain amount, how do I know that I've saved the bulk of my money? Because today, pretty much every dollar I put in, it's not going to make a huge amount. It's all that money I put in many, many years ago. So Coast Fire is, are you at the dollar amount that you could just let your investments continue to grow and you would actually be comfortably fine? So I thought I'm going to do two different scenarios. In today's video, I'm going to actually just do, what if I had heard about Coast Fire at the age of 35? I'm going to put some assumptions in of dollars that have invested already. What do I want to have when I retire? And have I hit my Coast Fire number? So it's more of a strategy of, hey, where are you today? Can you put in your numbers and actually see, are you at that point where you've already saved enough and can kind of coast into retirement? Or are you kind of behind and you need to increase additional money into your savings so that you can hit that number by the time you do retire? So let's dive in. And so I'm going to bring up two websites. I'm going to put the links in the description and hopefully you can then bring it up, or again, in the comments, maybe throw your numbers in. Have you already hit your Coast Fire number? At what age are you going to hit it? And again, today I'm doing more of a strategy of, what if I was 35 and I was putting some money aside to retire, and would I actually hit my Coast Fire number? So I did look up here what the average retirement savings is for somebody who's 35, and it's just under $50,000. So we're going to use that as how much I've saved, and we'll put in our numbers. All right. So we're going to look at two different websites again. So here's the first one. And again, this is from Wallet Burst. I kind of like the diagram here, or the graph. That's why this one kind of gravitated towards me. And so again, I put in here that I'm 35 years old. I want to retire at 65. I've always kind of said that. I mean, for a while there, I said 67 because that is full retirement age. But 65 is when Medicare kicks in. So that's why I've been moving it down as I can. And hopefully I can keep moving that down. How much money do I want to spend in retirement? So, this was a hard number for me. I'm kind of going off of what I would do maybe today with my wife and I. I want to spend $100,000 in retirement. Am I at my Coast Fire number? I put in the investment assets that the average person has, which is right around $50,000. And what a monthly contribution that I'm currently saving. And then you can put your growth rates and inflation rates. I always do growth rate around 8. Inflation rate was already filled in, or, another website said 2.5. I know some people do 3, but I put in 2.5, safe withdrawal rate. And it actually shows you what your Coast Fire number is at your current age. So I would actually need a $500,000 today to hit my Coast number. So in this scenario, I actually don't hit my Coast Fire. You need to increase your monthly contribution to hit your Coast Fire before the age of 65. So in this scenario, I wouldn't actually hit it. You can see here's what my average net worth is, and then what my Coast Fire number should be, as well as my fire number. So you can see I'm kind of falling behind. But let's change the scenario so that you actually show what it would do. So let's say I had saved $100,000 at this point. Now you can see the graph kind of does collapse a little bit, but I actually still don't hit it until much later. So let's our monthly contributions to $2,500. And now you actually see where you actually hit your Coast Fire number. Okay. So here in 24 years, this is where the investments would go. This is your Coast Fire number. And the intersection right here at 59 is when I could actually stop saving and let the money that I already have continue to grow. And you see the dotted lines if you continue to save. But obviously where the intersection is where you're going. So you can use this graph. Again, I kind of like this graph a little bit. I like the graph more than anything. But I will say this tool doesn't show a couple things. And that's why I have this other website that I thought was almost better. But again, I like the graph here. And that's why I kind of like that one. So here's another one from Clark.com. And we're going to do a very similar scenario and see, but this one's actually going to show that I hit it earlier, and we'll talk about kind of why. So I think this one might be actually almost more accurate, but again, I like the other one just because of the graph. So here I am 35. I want to live to age 90. Again, we put in our current savings, which is about that $50,000. Again, I want to retire at 65. And how much money in today's dollars do I want to have when I retire, which is that $100,000. I'm saving $1,500, which is what I was showing before. But this is where this tool I think is more valuable, is you can actually plug in your Social Security numbers. So this one that we were looking at before is just your savings. Does your savings alone hit your Coast Fire number? And this one actually is with Social Security. So I think you will get Social Security. Now, again, you might want to claim early, you might want to claim later. And so these numbers really do have a big impact, probably, of when you're going to hit it. Let's actually remove the numbers. And here, based on, by doing it without Social Security, you can see you have a shortfall. So it's almost very similar to what we were showing before. We have a shortfall in it. Again, this has 8%. This does have even more retirement numbers. So you can have post-retirement growth rates, whereas the other one, it was a flat 8%. This one you can lower in retirement. So, and this has some nice dollar amounts showing you how the money is growing, and then what happens when you start withdrawing it. So I do like this table as well. But again, this has that, Social Security number that you can enter in. And again, you can go out to ssa.gov, put in your numbers. So again, if I put in that I'm going to get $2,000 in Social Security and I want to collect it at 67, well, in this case, I actually hit my Coast Fire at the age of 54, even with, it being I only have $49,000 saved. So really kind of important. Now, this is an interesting aspect, right? This is going to show that obviously I run out at the end. So if you can go down here, I pretty much run out of money. Again, this tool does have a lot more capabilities. You can actually put in a target amount. So let's say I want 10% of my money to go into retirement, and be saved. So this will probably move my Coast number up to an extra year. So I'd have to work an extra year to make it. So what do you think about Coast Fire? Is it something that you've ever heard of? Have you used these tools before? I'm curious. It's something that actually, again, I forget. I think I saw an article online about your Coast number with the money that my wife and I have. I'm kind of curious. Have we hit our Coast number? Do we have a couple more years? I think we're right around that number. And if we continue to save and invest like we are, we're going to hit our Coast number very soon. At least that's my goal, or that's a slight goal I have right now. So hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, again, hit that like and subscribe. We'll continue to do more hands-on stuff. I'm going to type in a little bit more realistic numbers of what I have on the next video. So again, if you like this one, maybe watch the next one of where I am. Again, I'm not going to use the exact numbers, but again, this doesn't show salary. It doesn't show stuff like that. And again, I can put in some rough saving estimates, some rough retirement numbers to give you a representation of where I am. And hopefully, again, that gives you confidence yourself in doing your own numbers. So thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this.